Hey guys, so I got a question. I'm just trying to charge my phone whilst doing this. It's on 69%, that's pretty good. So I got a question. Is narcissism the new term that bullies or, insecure, well, the bullies would be neurotypical, because if they're picking on someone because it's a handicap, then they probably wouldn't have it. But are they is it being reused, or is it becoming the new term for handicap? Like when I was growing up, it was clap clap for the handicap, ho ho, or when I realised what people's intentions were, they'd be like click click. My sister done that all the time, and then she'll figure out what my intentions were, which were the exact opposite. And then I started in my 20s saying to her click click, because we were firing off two different brains. I say this because I heard some channels be like, oh yeah, this in the past, but was it narcissists are wired differently? They have a different wiring of the brain. Well, I have a different wiring of the brain, and I had anger problems, but that was because of how everyone was treating me. So because my needs were different to everyone else's, not everyone, but everyone who was neurotypical, I got called psychopath, was the term back in the day. And someone say, look, we know you're not a sociopath, because sociopath actually convinces a lot of other people to join their side. And but I got called that from my my parents and my siblings a number of times growing up, quite a number of times, just you psycho, because I was always going out of my way to meet their needs. But when I get to the point where I had enough, it's like, well, it's 100% all about you guys, or where's some accommodations for me? I keep making accommodations for you, and this world's yeah. And then when I'd get angry and aggressive, they'd be like, oh my God, you're such a psycho. Because they'd be relentlessly in my face and grabbing me and slapping me and stuff to get me to do things their way. Don't hang out with this certain type of person, and that certain type of person was always a neurodivergent. Was always someone of a similar mindset as me. Don't hang out with them. You're a disgrace in and of yourself as you are. How much of a disgrace would it be when the two of you guys are friends together? Don't go visit that girl. You should be ashamed that you're hanging out with that girl. What's wrong with your behavior? You need to be doing things our way, because our way is the right way. You're mental. You're insane. You're crazy. Yet they were deemed to be normal. That's all the stuff I was always hearing from my parents and siblings, and even people in the real world. You're a little bit slow, didn't you realise that this is what was happening? Hello. When I keep standing up for myself, you shouldn't. Bro, what is your problem? They're much tougher and meaner than you are. What makes you think that they're in the wrong for doing these mean and saying these mean things to you? They're much bigger and tougher than you are. Who do you think you are calling them out? And it's been scientifically proven that, okay, so I used to be afraid of saying these things because I might never ever get employed, or I might get fired or whatever, this type of thing, but holding it back didn't improve my situation. But the thing is I used to say most people, the high majority of people, but now I know the terminologies of neurotypical and neurodivergent means someone who's either ADHD, autism level 1, 2, 3 is really severe. Autism level 1 means it doesn't affect they don't have a different. Oh, it did affect my body actually. I couldn't cross my legs and touch my toes until I was 27. Most people can't do that. Well, actually, I was doing stretching and I was doing stretching and sports stretches and martial arts and all this other stuff to try and change that. Well, if I didn't do yoga and Pilates then I wouldn't be able to do that. And I did yoga for 2 months or a month, and now I'm doing it fine. Well, I did martial arts for years, so to get flexibility. So that's one reason why I did it. So yeah, all my best friends were a disgrace to my family. And looking back, they were all neurodivergent. They were telling me, watch out for this guy, watch out, they're dangerous because they have anger problems. Well, we never had anger problems when we were hanging out. We had great times. And I didn't see any anger problems. Nothing in comparison to what the majority of people were giving me in my late teens, early to mid-20s. And then everyone started calming down because the more adult version of hate is just to ignore you and to stay away from you. And I just used to take it like a champ, but then I ran out of patience and said, fuck you, and started standing up for myself. This is, I ran out of spray, so I went to go get the spray, but there's a health hub that's nearby, because the spray, I was thinking there might be the spray there, but there's not. But this works. It just lowers the amount of things in my mind, so I'm only thinking of like 10 or 15 things at the same time. I just go and do them all. Go healthy. Stress remedy, they call it, but I just call it as in like focus pills. Calcium and magnesium. They'll get you $13 for 30 of these. $16 for 30 of these, and you take one a day. These ones here, I usually forget to take 3, but I usually take 2, but I'm supposed to take 3 a day. And they call it brain alert, but it just helps me think of less things so I can focus on what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that's what focuses, Red seal, brain alert. Well, I think of less things. I'm only thinking of like 10 or 15 things and I go and get them all done. I'm not thinking of 40 things and what shall I do first and foremost. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, and the thing is it's been proven that autistic people are more likely to develop borderline personality or narcissistic traits, according to some studies, because of as a coping mechanism. Others say no. And my point is because we take it all the time, it's like, fuck, like, now I stand up for myself. Oh yeah, you think you're a bully now, huh? Oh, you think you're no, I'm just standing up for myself. Then, rather than just taking it and then having all these issues. So, I think that, if you're a bully and you're picking on someone for whatever reason, you're the problem and you're not, you think you're superior, no you're not.